Mom died thinking that I'm a rapist. Can't give that back to me.
An East County man is free tonight after a Team 10 investigation helped expose major problems in the case against him. The man and his supporters are appalled at what happened to him in a story of rape charges, lies, and jail time.
And his story went unnoticed until a distraught father contacted Team 10. Troubleshooter Kristen Severance investigates.
Everyone in my family thinks I'm a sex offender. They think I'm a rapist. Everyone does.
Scott Espinosa was facing 35 years in prison. He was convicted of 6 felonies, including rape by force and pimping. Police said the victim was 14 years old, but she wasn't. In fact, much of the case against Espinosa wasn't as it seemed.
And there is a bunch of guys in the living room.
San Diego police taped an interview of the alleged victim.
There's 10 of them there.
She said 10 customers, Johns, waited to take their turn inside of Espinosa's apartment. 2 men at a time, the victim told police. She also said Espinosa held her captive. Lawyer Laura Wilson shadowed the defense in this case because she said she's considering going into criminal law. She listened to the police tapes.
She comes back the second interview 2 days later where the prosecutor even asked her about these 10 men, and she said, oh, well, yeah, that never happened. She said, I must have dreamt that.
Sources familiar with the Espinosa case prefer to remain anonymous, fearing reprisals within the criminal justice system. The sources said witnesses who never testified tell a far different story than the victim.
The woman was free to come and go in the complex. She would go to a neighbor to have her hair done. She would go to another neighbor to smoke a cigarette.
In fact, several witnesses told Team 10 and investigators that Espinosa put the victim up at his apartment because she said she was homeless. And it turns out the victim is not 14, but at least 22 years old at the time, with 3 children. She does not hold custody. Still, the jury found Espinosa guilty.
I was in jail for 589 days, I believe. Like almost 19 months.
Espinosa said hard time isn't the worst thing that happened. His mother committed suicide while he was in prison. She was convinced her son was there for life.
You know, my mom died thinking that I'm a rapist. Can't give that back to me.
Meanwhile, Wilson was so upset about what happened in the courtroom and the inconsistencies in the testimony and evidence that she wrote this declaration laying it all out to trial judge Michael Smythe. Smythe also received a request for a retrial by Espinosa's new court-appointed attorney.
Okay.
Team 10 cameras were there when the judge agreed to a retrial, but it never happened.
Some nights I can't sleep, just thinking about it.
Team 10 tracked down the 22-year-old woman's mother in Oregon. Teresa Peterson said her daughter is a longtime drug user, prostitute, and liar.
Thinking about it now, it just breaks my heart. That's my daughter.
She knew what her daughter's accusations had done to Espinosa's life.
I'd like to see him get a fair trial and ultimately a release.
Instead, the DA offered Espinosa a deal, but he had to weigh his options. He could go free, but he'd have to plead guilty to pandering or promoting prostitution, or he could have that retrial. Espinosa took the plea deal. He said he couldn't trust the justice system to get it right the second time.
It was almost like a dreaming, like a dreaming going to wake up.
His dad was there to greet him as he left jail.
Love you so much.
And so was Team 10.
Oh, you ain't dreaming, brother.
Now, we would never reveal the name of a sexual assault victim, but in this case, all rape charges against Espinosa were dropped. And it's not clear tonight where Leslie Peterson is today. Not even her mother knows. As for Espinosa, he's looking for work, he's looking for a job, and he's really, just trying to stay positive about everything that's happened to him.
So, Kristen, if other people and Team 10 couldn't find out all of this stuff, why couldn't police?
Atika, police did find all the same things that we found. They brought that information to the prosecutor, but the prosecutor took the case to trial anyway. Now, the DA's office said they're satisfied with the plea deal, and they told Team 10 that these cases are very difficult to prosecute.
Thanks, Kristen.
You're welcome.